eventually I started to rewire myself. So like one of the things that I found in myself years ago that I didn't like was that I judge people. And I'm like, man, I love people. Like I try to be of service as much as I can, but an immediate thought that will come in my head sometimes is like judgment of somebody that I don't know. And I just judge them. And I was like, I don't like that pattern. I want to change this pattern within myself. It's awareness. I become aware of what I want to change. And the first time I really did it, I was at a grocery store and this guy had this like Bluetooth, like the long Bluetooth. It was like as if he was, making cold calls at an office, but he was at the grocery store. And immediately the first thought in my head was judgment. And I always say you can't change your first thought, but you could change your second thought. So I noticed a judgment as a first thought. Awareness. My practice that I decided for myself was I'm going to force myself in my head to say 3 things that I like about this guy. I paused myself in the moment. I found myself in a pattern that I don't want to be in anymore. What are 3 things that I like about this guy? And I said it, and then I went on about my day. And I started doing this over and over and over and over again. And one thing that I noticed is that my first thought started changing to less judgment and more acceptance. Because ultimately that's what I really want to work on, is more acceptance and loving of people and of myself. And so I think it's becoming aware of it. Once you're aware of the things that the pattern you're trying to change, what's the practice that you're going to take yourself down? And then noticing that you're just going to need to do it over and over and over again. But one of the biggest keys is to give yourself grace as you're doing it. Because a lot of times we become aware and then we judge ourselves and we beat ourselves up for it. So I think it's giving yourself a lot of love and grace and going, hey, I've noticed this pattern. Don't worry, we're going to change it. Let's go on this practice, and just continuing to do that.
Yeah, it's so well said. I think so often we get scared even of having the thought of what could be possible because we're scared that it can't be possible. And we just find another thing to be fearful of.